You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, General Hospital fans. I've seen a lot of you guys in the comments on here and on Soap social media talking about Kristina Corinthos and sexy singer Blaze. And a lot of people are wondering if there is a spark there. There's definite chemistry of sorts between Blaze and Kristina, and it could be a missed opportunity if GH didn't explore something with them. Let's talk about some of the signs and remind you of why history has laid the foundation for Kristina to pursue the sexy songbird or vice versa. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our GH updates. So if you'll remember, Kristina was with men in the past, but she is more recently primarily drawn to women. It was way back in 2016 when Kristina Corinthos opened up to Molly, back when they weren't having this really weird feud that doesn't align to their history, at any rate. So Kristina opened up to Molly about whether she was bisexual or gay, and she initially was really worried about the reaction of Sonny Corinthos and Alexis Davis and whether they might judge her. This was also back when Kristina had a crush on her older professor, Dr. Parker Forsyth, who was played by Ashley Jones, who is an amazing actress. You may recall that Kristina offered her professor sex for a better grade. It was pretty scandalous, especially since Dr. Forsyth was married at the time to a woman. If you don't recall, Kristina was suspended for the sex for grades ploy. However, after Parker wasn't her professor, and a few months later in 2016, the professor had broken up with her wife, and then she and Kristina slept together. But then Parker changed her mind and said no thanks and left her a letter, I think, calling things off. But before she and Parker had their little fling, Kristina briefly dated a guy named Aaron when she was trying to move on from her crush on her professor. And then later, Parker reignited with Kristina, who then actually moved to Oregon to pursue a romance with Parker. And Kristina was off the screen for a while she was, having that off-screen romance. But Parker and Kristina ultimately split without it really being explained very well. That came a couple of years later, and then bam, Kristina was back in Port Charles. After that, she had a crush on Valerie Spencer. She kissed Valerie Spencer in December of 2018, but then things got weird after that. She and Valerie grew distant, and then because they weren't really writing any good material for Brittany Sarpy as Valerie, then they just wrote her out. She left, and Brittany is over on Y&R now, and she is killing it, although I don't think they're really servicing her acting skills very well over there either. So Krissy hasn't been with anyone on screen since then, back in 2018. So she's definitely due for a love story. And Allison Rogers, aka Blaze, first aired, if you remember, back on November 3rd, 2022. She came onto the scene as a singer who was managed by Brook Lynn Quartermaine's sleazy ex-manager, Linc Brown. Blaze did several performances with Harrison Chase during his temporary music career. Then Brook Lynn and Blaze exposed Linc as the predator that he was at the Nurses' Ball last year, and then Blaze was finally free of him after a long run of sexual harassment and inappropriate workplace attention. So Blaze exited on April 17th, 2023, and after almost 6 months away from the soap, she just returned on Monday, September 25th, 2023. So Kristina seemed kind of shocked when they were talking at Charlie's Pub when Blaze asked if she had a boyfriend, and Kristina quickly said no. And also, I just want to remind you guys, I know some of y'all are critical about the Kristina recast, but Kate Mansi is an extremely talented actress. She was fabulous on Days of Our Lives. She is a big name recast for the role of Kristina Corinthos. So clearly they're probably going to do more with her, give her more story, front burner story. and that includes love in her life. So they made such a big deal back in like 2016 out of Kristina being sexually fluid. And if I recall correctly, there was some discussion that they planned to follow up on the storyline about her personal life. But when she came back in 2018, after the Valerie thing just kind of fizzled, it never manifested. So Kristina's had nobody since then, and she has been off and on. And then they swapped out Lexi Ainsworth for Kate Mansi, and now front burner storylines. So I also have to say that Blaze was so creeped out by Linc Brown, and boy, he was creepy. And right now that we've heard of, she doesn't seem to have a boyfriend, and I never really saw her trying to flirt with Chase, you know. So she might not be into men, or maybe she wants a break from men after being taken advantage of by Linc. So far, Kristina and Blaze kind of had a little spark. They had a cool vibe when they were talking. Blaze was really interested in Kristina's, amateur singing performance at the nurses' ball. I don't mean amateur as in not good. I mean amateur as she's not a paid professional singer. So fans have already come up with a smush name for these two ladies with Kristina and Blaze smushed together to be Craze, spelled with a K. So we shall see, but what do you guys think? Drop your comments below. If you haven't already, please click subscribe and definitely click like if you enjoyed this conversation, and let me know what you think of a potential pairing for Kristina and Blaze. Is there sparks? Where there's smoke, is there fire? We'll see. Hey, thanks for listening. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.